Over 13,000 athletes compete at the Summer and Winter Olympic Games in 33 different sports and nearly 400 events. One of the main events is weightlifting, which appeared in 1896 in the first modern Olympic Games. The clean and jerk is broken down into 4 phases: the preparatory, the hang, the clean, and the jerk. The clean portion consists of the lifter moving a weighted barbell from the floor to a racked position across the deltoids and clavicles. The jerk portion involves lifting the weight above the head until the arms are straight and the bar is stationary. The clean and jerk is one of 2 Olympic weightlifting events, the other being the snatch. Let's take an in-depth look on how the body is able to perform a high-intensity exercise. Muscle tissue is made up of many cells that, when stimulated, can contract. Adults have a certain number of muscle cells. Through exercise, such as weightlifting, the cells enlarge, but the overall number of cells does not increase. Muscle tissue works by contracting, pulling on the bone, using it as a lever. These contractions take place at a microscopic level. When a muscle contracts, it simply attempts to pull the bones to which both of its ends are attached toward each other. There are 2 predominant contractions in the muscles that are used in the clean and jerk. They are eccentric and concentric contractions. An eccentric contraction is when the muscle lengthens and gives into gravity. A concentric contraction is when the muscle shortens, which causes motion that goes against gravity. The warm-up is a preparation for an athletic event by exercising, stretching, and practicing for a short time beforehand. Cold muscles cannot deal with the impact of when your feet or other body parts hit the ground or any other solid plane. Cold muscles are more at risk for injury as well. One of the many reasons to warm up is to assist your circulatory system in pumping oxygen to your muscles. The role of the red blood cells is to absorb oxygen through the lungs and deliver it to all the muscles, tissues, and organs in your body. Agonist muscles, when contracting, cause joint motion through a specified plane of motion. These muscles are known as primary movers, or as muscles most involved. Any concentrically contracting muscle that causes the same joint motion is an agonist for the motion. Sometimes some muscles, because of their size, location, length, or force, are able to contribute significantly more to the joint movement than other agonists. Antagonist muscles have the complete opposite concentric action from agonists. They are referred to as contralateral muscles. Antagonists are located on the opposite side of the joint from the agonist and work together with agonist muscles by relaxing and allowing movement. However, when contracting concentrically, they perform the joint motion opposite to that of the agonist. Synergists, muscles that assist in the action of an agonist but are not necessarily prime movers for the action, known as guiding muscles, assist in refined movement and rule out undesired motion. Stretching can improve your flexibility and reduce risk of injury. By adding stretches that focus on all your major muscle groups before you exercise, you will get more out of your workout and decrease muscular soreness afterward. The horizontal deltoid stretch stretches your posterior, middle, and anterior deltoid, as well as your infraspinatus and the teres minor. The deltoid muscle gives the shoulder its rounded shape. The middle part of the deltoid is responsible for moving the arm away from the body and some rotation of the arm. The anterior or front of the deltoid muscle allows you to move your arm to the center of the body. The posterior or back of the deltoid muscle allows you to move your arm away from your body. The teres minor and infraspinatus muscles also allow your arm to rotate and move your arm laterally or to the side. Stretching your quadriceps stretches the rectus femoris, vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, and the vastus intermedius. The quadriceps' main function is to move the knee. They become active when you bend and straighten your knee. The vastus lateralis extends the leg at the knee. The muscle straightens the leg at the knee joint so that there is an increase in the angle between the lower leg and the upper leg. Vastus intermedius also extends the leg at the knee. Vastus medialis is a teardrop-shaped muscle on the lower thigh. This muscle is also responsible for extending the leg. However, it also stabilizes the patella or kneecap. The rectus femoris also assists in knee movement, but it also is a primary muscle involved in rotating the hip. The final stretch is the over-the-head tricep stretch. The primary function of the tricep is to extend the elbow or strain out the arm. The second function of the tricep can only be placed in motion by the long head of the muscle, which is to bring the arm down towards the body. The long head is located along the bottom side of the humerus and is the largest of the three heads. The lateral head is located on the outward facing side of the humerus. This head is mostly responsible for the horseshoe shape of the tricep. The medial head is located towards the midline of the body. The clean and jerk is a movement that requires multiple regions of the body to provide muscle efficiency. People believe the clean and jerk is an easy lift to perform. However, one must be physically prepared before performing a dynamic activity such as the clean and jerk. Many believe it's easier to lift the weight with their upper body only instead of incorporating their legs. The deadlift is a very important exercise because it works all your muscles with the heaviest weight possible. Deadlifts will teach you to pick up an object with a straight back. This will be very useful in the clean and jerk and will prevent injury. Some of the major muscles used in the deadlift are the quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteals, gastrocnemius, soleus, and deltoid. Front squat. When performing front squats, keeping your chest up at all times so your shoulders support the barbell, not your wrists. If you try to support the weight with your hands, it will hurt. Keep this in mind when performing the clean and jerk. Some of the main muscles in the front squat are the quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteals, gastrocnemius, and soleus. The dumbbell press may be performed in many ways. Grasp the dumbbells with an overhand grip, hands shoulder width apart. Position the weight in front of your neck and push up. Knowing which muscles you're working with this exercise will help you monitor and maintain proper form as you lift. The main muscles include the triceps brachii, the teres minor, teres major, latissimus dorsi, and the rectus abdominis. To the world, the clean and jerk is considered to be one of the greatest lifts due to its dynamic involvement of bones, joints, and muscle. When beginning this lift, the individual will approach the barbell with feet positioned apart outside the hips. Place feet under the barbell directly in front of the tibia, but not touching the surface. Primary muscles in the prep phase: pectoralis minor, lower trapezius, latissimus dorsi, teres major, deltoids, quadriceps, hamstrings, gluteals. Begin to squat. Keep the back flat and tight with deltoids flexing the arms to grasp the bar with a pronated grip, hands being shoulder width. With a firm grip on the bar, lift your head with your back flat and hip and knee staying in the flexed position. At this position, 9 different locations on the body are oriented to prepare the body for the hang phase. First, the individual's head is in a capital extension. Second, with your arms being flexed forward to grasp bar with the radial ulnar joint being in pronation to grip the barbell, and the wrist and hands are in flexion with an isometric contraction. Third, along with the grip of the bar, the shoulder girdle is in depression since your back is straight and your head is lifted, and the forward flexion of the arms are in. Also, the trunk is being used to maintain the extension of the back. Next area involved would be the hip. In the preparatory phase, the hip is in an anterior pelvic rotation and the hips are flexed in an eccentric contraction due to the hip extensors. Also flexed in an eccentric contraction are the knee extensors. The muscles engaged are the quadriceps. The last section on the body in the preparatory will be the ankle. At the ankle, it is dorsiflexed, meaning the angle between the foot and the leg decreases. Leaving the preparatory, you will begin to return to an anatomical position while still gripping the barbell by extending the hip, knee, and ankle, with all 3 being concentrically contracted. Primary muscles in the lift phase: trapezius, levator scapula, deltoids, biceps brachii, quadriceps, gluteals, gastrocnemius, and soleus. In addition to return to a standing position, you will also utilize the back muscles to provide some support. The hip muscles that are currently being extended are the hamstrings. The knee extensors being engaged will be your quads. The ankle is in plantar flexion and they are the calf muscles. Keep the bar close to your shin and knees when rising and allow the bar to brush against your thighs. Once the barbell is directly in front of your thighs but still close to your hips, remember to keep your back flat. As the bar begins to reach the thighs, commence by explosively pushing off the floor with your ankles, continuing the plantar flexion, but simultaneously extending the quadriceps to propel upwards to build upward momentum and flex the biceps to provide more lifting towards your clavicle. The bar traveling up will require you to also shrug your shoulders high using your levator scapulae, upper and medial trapezius. Your deltoids will raise, performing shoulder abduction and having the shoulder girdle elevate and upwardly rotate. But also remember to keep the bar level and keep it close to your body. The clean phase begins at the moment the bar reaches the chest. The actions of the body have created upward momentum. You will use that to your benefit to continue. Primary muscles in the clean phase: serratus anterior, pectoralis minor, trapezius, deltoid, pectoralis major, brachioradialis, gluteals, quadriceps, erector spinae, abdominal. The second the bar is mid-chest, you will squat by eccentrically contracting the hip extensors to flex, but you will be squatting to allow your elbows to be lower than the bar and adduct horizontal to protract the scapula away from the spinal column. The wrist is also entering extension and rotating around the bar. Both elbows should be moving in a transverse plane toward and across the chest. These actions will allow you to catch the bar on top of the shoulder and slightly abduct the elbows to a functionally comfortable position. Once the bar is under your control, begin to rise by using the trunk, hip, and knee extensors to a standing position. Since the bar is resting on the deltoids by the scapula being protracted, your wrists are gripping the bar in extension, hands still in pronation and biceps flexed. Engage your abdomen and erector spinae to provide stability. This phase begins by movement by using the synergy of different regions of the body in one swift action, and these will be the upper extremities, shoulders, hip, and ankles. When returning to anatomical position, the hips are leaving their rotation in their transverse. Dip your body by bending knees and ankles slightly to provide force to drive the bar off the shoulders, and straight up by using the triceps and anconeus to extend the elbow. The shoulder girdle will be upwardly rotated and elevated by the trapezius, levator scapulae, and serratus anterior, and the shoulder joint muscles, pectoralis major, anterior deltoid, coracobrachialis, and the biceps brachii will be in flexion. Immediately drop body downward slightly and split one leg forward and back. The leg forward will be in flexion and the leg backward will be in extension in the sagittal plane, which will cause right and left pelvic rotation to the hip in transverse plane. One knee will be flexed, decreasing the angle between the femur and lower leg with the leg that's forward. The other knee is slightly flexed to absorb the weight with the leg extended back. As for the ankle with the leg forward is somewhat dorsiflexed, but the ankle with the leg that's in extension is plantar flexed with the balls of your feet driving into the ground and your calcaneus being posterior superior. After that, push up with both legs, primarily using the knee extensors, the quadriceps, and hip extensors in the forward leg, and use the gastrocnemius and soleus in the back leg to give more force to restore the leg to anatomical position. Primary muscles in jerk phase: pectorals, deltoids, latimus dorsi, levator scapulae, triceps brachii, gluteals.